All right, it is September 22nd, 2025, and what a day of European football we have on tap. Seriously, we're talking about league leaders feeling the heat, massive rivalries ready to explode. We've got some absolute crackers on the schedule today.
And that's the big question, right? Who's going to walk away a winner? And who's going to be left tasting defeat? You've got title contenders, you've got teams just fighting to stay alive. Today is just packed with high-stakes drama. So who's coming out on top?
Well, to get some answers, we're diving into the expert predictions. We've got the data-driven breakdown from Goal, and we're going to walk you through exactly what they're expecting to see on the pitch today. We're talking scores, key players, and, yeah, those little factors that could change everything. So, first up, let's talk about the big guns under pressure. We're looking at matchups where the heavy favorites, the league leaders, are in the hot seat. Because, as we all know, in football, anything can happen. Okay, let's kick things off in Turkey's Super League. This is a classic top versus middle of the table clash. You've got the league leaders Galatasaray at home against a ninth-place Konyaspor. On paper, this one looks pretty straightforward, right? And yeah, the prediction totally reflects that. A big 3-0 win for Galatasaray is what's expected. But, and this is a big but, their star striker Osimhen is out injured. So, why are they still so heavily favored? Well, it all comes down to depth. They've still got Icardi and Gundogan in the lineup, and that's some serious firepower. The experts are basically betting that's more than enough to get the job done. All right, let's hop over to Spain's second division now, where we've got a team in some serious trouble. We're looking at mid-table Burgos taking on Granada. And when I say trouble, I mean it. Granada is dead last, 22nd place, and they're still looking for their very first win of the season. Ouch. So, no surprise here, the prediction is another lopsided 3-0 score. And really, it's all about Granada's attack, or maybe the lack of an attack. They're missing some crucial players up front. Burgos, on the other hand, is at full strength. It just doesn't look like Granada has the horses to compete in this one. Okay, over to Italy we go, and wow, it's another tale of two complete extremes. You've got Serie A leaders Napoli, who are perfect so far with 9 points. And they're up against Pisa, down in 18th, who've only scraped together a single point. I mean, that gap between them is just massive. But wait a second, look at this prediction. A nail-biting 3-2 win for Napoli. So why so close all of a sudden? It's all about the injuries. Napoli is missing their goal-scoring machine, Lukaku, and their rock at the back, Romani. Those are two huge blows. That tells you Pisa might just find a way to get on the score sheet and turn this into a real dogfight. Okay, time for the main event. You can throw the league table out the window for this one. Forget current form. This is Le Classique, Marseille versus PSG. And if you know football, you know this is one of the biggest, baddest rivalries in all of Europe. Yeah, a rivalry on edge just about sums it up perfectly. In these games, passion and history just completely take over. It's always intense, always unpredictable, and you can bet today is going to be no different. So what's the big story heading into this massive clash? Simple. Injuries. Both teams are pretty banged up, but man, PSG has been hit especially hard. They're going to be without Dembele, Du, and Neves. We're talking about 3 absolutely critical players. This could be the great equalizer, exactly what Marseille needs to level the playing field. And all of that leads to a really fascinating prediction, a 2-2 draw. With so much top-tier talent watching from the sidelines, neither team is really expected to have that killer instinct, that decisive edge. It feels like the injuries have basically taken a win off the table for both sides. And instead, we might be in for a high-scoring, chaotic, and brilliant stalemate. All right, for our final match, let's switch gears a little bit. We're heading over to the Ukrainian Premier League for a game that looks like it's going to be a much more tactical, much more controlled kind of battle. So, we've got 3rd place Shakhtar predicted to beat 7th place Zorya 2-0. But look closely at that goal prediction, under 3.5. Now, this is the only match we've looked at today that's expected to be on the lower scoring side. What does that tell us? It suggests that even with a key injury, Shakhtar's lineup is strong enough to just lock things down defensively, control the game, and grind out a solid win with a clean sheet. Okay, so we've run through the biggest matches of the day. What's the big picture here? What are the key takeaways for you? Let's tie it all together. If you're looking for the biggest trend of the day, It really boils down to one single number: 4.
Yup, that's right. 4 out of the 5 matches we just talked about are predicted to go over 2.5 goals. So expect some fireworks. But the real story is why. So many of today's outcomes are being shaped by major injuries. They're the great equalizer in games like that Napoli-Pisa matchup, and especially in that massive PSG-Marseille derby. Now, your heavy favorites like Galatasaray, they should still roll. But everywhere else, keep an eye on how those empty spots in the lineup create absolute chaos.
And that really brings us to the final thought, doesn't it? The data, the predictions, they give us a roadmap. But football is never, ever that simple. That's why we love it. It's why we watch. So the real question is, which one of these heavy favorites is going to stumble? Which underdog is going to pull off the impossible? Well, there's only one way to find out. Enjoy the games.